So Jay's back in the car. It's been a long time still. I know you miss me, but yeah, just been working hard on that. So I thought I'd give you a little break, a little 1 month break and no videos, whatever. Yeah. Right. So I've been watching that Top Boy Series 3 right now, and Series 1 was good, Series 2 was bad, Series 3 is even badder. Yeah. I'm on episode 10, which I think is the last and final episode of Series 3, yeah. I know there's going to be a Series 4 or whatever, innit? The Top Boy can't die out yet, man. It's got a lot of life left in it still. So, I was watching one episode, I think it was episode 1 or 2 of Series 3, and I saw something that gave me the idea of a good talking point that I haven't yet discussed, because I did think about this, but I just didn't get around to doing it. Gentrification, yeah? Why poor, broke people do not like gentrification, why they hate it, yeah. Episode 102, Deshane, Ashley Walters, Asher D if you're old school, yeah. If you used to listen to Soul Solid Crew, you'll know about Asher D in it, yeah. Ashley Walters, Deshane, came back from Jamaica and he fled from Jamaica in episode 102 or whatever, in it, yeah. And he's in his bits, he's in his area, and he goes into a coffee shop. And I know what was going through his head. He was looking around in the coffee shop like, I ain't been on the block for a hot minute. Like, who the fuck are these people in my area? Like, these people are not native people. These people are not indigenous, and it's got nothing to do with their skin colour. Yeah? He's looking around and he's thinking, why the fuck are all these middle class white people in Hackney? Yeah, like, this is the hood. Like, who are these people, innit? And he's been served by a guy behind the till, whatever, and the guy's making him his coffee. And he's just looking around thinking like, what the fuck? So he asked him like, how long have you lot been here for? Like, how long's this business been open for? And I think the guy responded like either 2 or 5 years, whatever, innit? And he said that, yeah, the business is going well, whatever, innit? Yeah. That's gentrification. Yeah. What is gentrification? Gentrification is basically when you have a poor, broke area, yeah, and for some reason, middle class people want to start moving there, yeah. Maybe because the area that they're in, maybe like Chelsea or something like that, might be a bit too expensive. But that poor area has good transport links. So they decide, you know what, let's buy a property or start renting in that area. So what happens is, the government and business owners, they start to raise the standard of the area. They renovate the area, make it look more nice and more prettier to meet middle class people's tastes and standards. Yeah? And the broke native indigenous people do not like it for several reasons, yeah. They fucking hate it, yeah. And I've seen it with my own eyes, yeah. I've seen it with my own eyes, yeah. Again, Hackney, yeah, not too far from me, yeah. Hackney was a no-go zone, yeah. Back in the day, fucking hell, like early 2000s and before that, Hackney was a no-go zone. It's the kind of, you don't want to go there, innit? Yeah, you do not want to go there, yeah. But because of the transport links and because it's so close to the city, middle class people have moved in there, and now the house prices have skyrocketed. I'm talking about just a normal 3-bed house, yeah, just on an estate or whatever, or just down a residential street, 800 grand a mil easily. I'm not making this up. Go on Zoopla, go on Rightmove, go on all them websites there, and you can verify what I'm saying, yeah. But the indigenous people do not like it. The broke people of that area who've grown up, lived in that area their whole life, they don't like it because they feel like they're being moved out. Now, how do they feel like they've been forced out or moved out? Because when they get forced out or moved out of areas like Hackney or Peckham or Brixton, yeah, they end up getting sent to places, I'm not saying 100% all the time, but they end up getting sent to places like Northampton, Milton Keynes. The government will move them, yeah. How do they get moved out? Well, basically what they do, what the government does, whatever, in it, yeah, what the local authority does, they put things in place, yeah. They put certain businesses in place which will end up driving out the poor indigenous people. Businesses, and they don't even have to be like extravagant businesses or nothing like that, yeah, or like, you know, places where rich people go, yeah. But places like shops like Sainsbury's, yeah. People who are broke, people who are poor, yeah, a lot of them can't afford to shop in Sainsbury's, yeah. broke people, poor people can only afford to shop in places like Lidl and Aldi. Yeah. So when Lidl and Aldi get shut down, and the only place that's open is Sainsbury's, when that local poor broke person looks at their shopping bill, I'm like, rah, a week time I'm ending up spending an extra £50. I can't afford this. Yeah. I can't afford to shop here every week because that's costing me an extra £50. Yeah. And if they're an honest person, they're not gonna go out there and start drug dealing or whatever, innit? Yeah. Obviously they're lazy, they're not doing nothing to better themselves to make more money so that they can live in that area. But they're not gonna go out there and drug deal and stuff. So what they think to themselves, like, I need to go to the government and I need to find somewhere else to move, yeah, into a place that, you know, can accommodate my brokenness, basically, innit? Yeah. But the areas around there are too expensive for them, innit? So them man, they get shipped out to Northampton and places like Milton Keynes where it's cheaper, innit? Yeah. And the broke people, they fucking hate it because their excuse is, you know, the reason why I like gentrification, because obviously it raises the house price. Obviously it makes it more difficult for us because then we have to step up our game, but that's a good thing. Yeah, that keeps us on our toes. That keeps us, you know, striving for more, and wanting to work harder so we can earn more money to live a better lifestyle, or at least afford a more expensive property. Yeah. But the broke people hate it because what they will say is, they're driving us out. They don't care about us working class people. All the government cares about is middle class people. But the thing is, right, where the point they're missing is, and the reason why it's a good thing for gentrification to happen is because it disperses all the scum. Yeah, it disperses all the criminals. Obviously, criminals are always going to exist in places, but in my mind, I think it's a good thing that the criminals get dispersed. Yeah, because too much bad eggs in one place is not a good thing. Yeah, it's better to disperse them, right? But what happens is, obviously, the fucking thing that happens is when they go elsewhere, they go and infect places like Northampton and Milton Keynes. I know, I got a house in Northampton, and I see the types of people that I see in Hackney, Brixton, Tottenham, all them type of areas there, over there. So I know over Surrey it's getting bad as well. Like where my estate is, where my house is in Northampton, I know people are trapping around there. I know they are trapping around it. I see undercover police all the time, and I know the symptoms of, you know, a bad area and people where they're drug dealing and stuff like that, innit? Yeah. But as I said, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, they have to go somewhere, innit? But I think gentrification is a good thing because it brings the standard of the area up. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that people who have lived in, obviously it affects, you know, the honest people as well, innit? People who have lived in that area for their whole life, they get affected by it, innit? But it is what it is, innit? You know, you either adapt, yeah, you move with the times, or you get the fuck out, innit? Yeah. People who have lived in Brixton their whole life, they have to move. Yeah, they might not move to Northampton, but they move to some poor area in Kent or something like that, or a cheaper area in Kent. Yeah, it's happened in Peckham as well. All them areas, yeah, like if you're from London, you're watching this, all them areas that you think like, yeah, they're expensive and they're like trendy areas. Yeah, Brixton, Peckham, Vauxhall, fucking Notting Hill. All them areas back in the day were broke man areas, trust me. But at some point they got gentrified. Yeah. Some point they got gentrified. Yeah. For me, obviously, man, I'm North Londoner, innit? I've always known Islington to be like a rich man's area, but it weren't always like that. It weren't always like that. Islington used to be a broke area. Islington probably was just like an extension of Hackney back in the day. But as I've grown up, I'm a 90s baby, innit? I don't know Islington to be a poor area. Obviously, there's broke council estates everywhere, innit? Yeah, but Islington's always been like a rich man's area to me, but it weren't always like that. And the same thing's happening right now. You see them areas like Hackney and Tottenham. You see my little sister, yeah, she's 7 years old. I got little cousins who's like 8, 9 years old. When they grow up and when they're old enough to understand like the demographics of an area and stuff, they're gonna look at areas like Hackney and maybe even Tottenham, but definitely Hackney as like, whoa, that's a rich man's area. But it weren't always like that. Trust me, it weren't always like that. But yeah, maybe me saying they get shipped out to Northampton and Milton Keynes maybe a bit too far, but definitely like the more suburban areas. Yeah, definitely more suburban areas like Cheshunt and Waltham Cross. They get shipped out there, and then what happens is the bad seeds, they infect the areas. I'm telling you, places like Cheshunt and Wolverhampton Cross and all that, they're all gonna be bad areas soon. Just like Ilford. Ilford, them places there, they might be a bit more humble, but they weren't rough areas, nothing like that. I'm not saying Ilford's rough like that, but there's definitely some rough spots. And a lot of the people who live in Ilford came from Hackney originally. Even my own family members will say they're good people, whatever, innit? But they were living in Hackney and they moved to Ilford, Romford, Chadwell Heath and that. But they're alright, they're decent people, innit? But when you get the bad people going out from London to outskirts of London, they just end up infecting the place. And yeah, they just use it as an excuse to not move with the times. Yeah. God forbid they fucking, I think, because they're doing up Tottenham now. Man, see Tottenham's coming up, whatever, innit? And they're proper renovating Tottenham now. Trust me, Tottenham's getting expensive now. 3-bed house, 600, 500 grand, easily. Zoopla if you don't believe me, innit? Yeah. They got everything in Tottenham now. They got fucking these little coffee shops popping up, these little middle class places popping up here and there. They got Sainsbury's, they got Costa Coffee. All they need now for the final nail in the coffin is a fucking Waitrose. Yeah. And I guarantee probably all the buildings nearby will just fucking fall down. Nah. Me, I don't mind gentrification. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with, you know, the government putting money into an area and raising the prices of the houses in the area. And you know what? If the poor people can't adapt, then get the fuck out. Yeah? Poor people, they'll use it as an excuse as the government want to drive them out. In my mind, the way I see it is they're dispersing the shit. Yeah. Anyway, gentrification is a good thing in my mind, but broke people, poor people will see something else in it. Broke people, poor people, they have this negative mindset where they see everything as bad. They can't make no good in nothing, man. Any little slight changes or variations, oh, the government's this or they're doing this to, they just make excuses, yeah, and that's why they are where they are, innit? Yeah. Stay wise.